Bernie, I start with simple questions. Of course, we start with Formula One. Bernie, what do you think? Who will be world champion this year?
Going to be more difficult, but for sure, Max.
Bernie, that was very short. It could be difficult, so you're not sure?
No, I'm sure. When I'm saying nobody can be sure of something like that, but I think he's already got a lead, so now he just has to have a little bit of luck, or maybe Lando will have a bit of bad luck. So we'll see. But I think Max in general should be able to be champion.
Yeah. What's your opinion about Lando?
Well, I mean, he's doing what he should be doing. I mean, he makes, well, he has up to now made a few mistakes, which he knows he's made and he wished he hadn't. But I think he's sorted things out pretty well now. And he's with a good team and a very good car. So
Yeah.
he's got everything going for him.
Yeah. You said it, Bernie. Is McLaren for you the best car right at the moment?
I think you'd have to say yes.
And what about the team, McLaren? Do you think it's a good team? Are they ready for a world championship as a team?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think McLaren will win the Constructors' Championship. They got two very competent drivers and a very good car. Whereas Max is a little, or Red Bull's a little bit on their own with Max.
Bernie, I think you have a very good opinion about what happened to Max in the press conference, using the F word and the FIA, who gave him a penalty for using an F word. Bernie, in our times, it's ridiculous or not? In which direction are we going? It's crazy or not?
I think the wrong direction. We're becoming too clinical about everything, about the rules, the regulations, and everything. We're just taking a little bit of the human side of Formula One out. I mean, you know as well as anyone, in the old days, you imagine when there was all the guys that were floating around those days, the language. I'm not suggesting for 1 minute people should use bad language, but sometimes, you know, people want to express themselves a little bit better and they don't think too clearly about what language they should use. But I think in the old days, certainly nobody sort of was upset about it. And I doubt today whether people are still upset over these things. I think the president of the FIA is doing what he thinks is the right thing and how it should be. And he's probably right. But we mustn't get rid of the human side of all sports.
Yeah, I understand, Bernie. But isn't it the wrong way we are doing? I have the same opinion like you. It's clinical. And if you ask F1 supporters, they like to have characters. Bernie, I think it's not a question of the old days. The people like human beings, like drivers, like characters.
Exactly right. We've lost that. We haven't seemed to have lost it in life in general because the rest of the world doesn't seem to sort of follow that with things that are happening currently and what people say and how people care about other people. We've lost all that, and we've tried to clean it up a little bit in sport.
Bernie, can you understand Max, who said maybe I will quit with Formula One because of that, because of these kind of developments?
Sorry, I don't understand. Is what?
That Max, yeah, isn't happy with Formula One in this kind of direction, which is going. Yeah, so to be so clinical. And he said, no, maybe it's not my sport in the future.
It's not necessary either. I think in the case of the FIA president, he's in a very difficult position because he's looked on a little bit different from the sporting people. And he's probably sort of expressing what he personally feels himself, not so much what he thinks, but what he thinks he ought to be doing.
Bernie, Singapore was the last race for Daniel Ricciardo. Are you sad about that?
Very much so, because he's one of the characters. We don't need to lose in Formula One. He is what the people like. I mean, he was super popular and people liked him, liked what he was and what he said and what he does. So it's a great shame.
Yeah. And now there are a lot of young drivers, Bernie. Which one of the young drivers who are now coming in Formula One, which one do you like?
Well, as first as the Australian, I think, is a magic guy. He would for sure be world champion when within the next 2 years. If the car keeps performing the way it is, that's what will happen.
You mean Oscar Piastri?
Yes, exactly, yes.
And what is it that you like?
Well, he I think, stands out amongst all the others. I mean, it'd be difficult to pick one of the other guys that are really up and coming, and it's a case of how lucky they're going to get to be in the right car at the right time.
Um, some people compare him with Kimi Räikkönen because of his coolness and his being like ice. Is it for you the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many of the old style characters from Formula One, which was like Daniel, which we've missed now. And I hope the younger generation don't grow into the fact that they have to be very careful what they say, what they do, and what they look like. You know, they're not basically corporate people. They're being made to act like corporate people, so they lose a lot of their character, which
Yeah,
is not good.
yeah, I agree, Bernie. Bernie, what will happen to Mick Schumacher?
What will what?
What will happen to Mick Schumacher in the future?
Well, he's being avoided for the wrong reasons, you know, so it's a great shame that he's sort of being put on the back burner unnecessarily. He really needs somebody to step up, get behind him, and try and give him a good chance so he can perform again.
Um, what we heard, Bernie, is that Audi doesn't take him. Audi doesn't take him for the second seat. So Audi said maybe no to Mick Schumacher. Isn't it sad?
Well, you can understand Audi's position. Well, what they need, sort of coming in themselves, they need to get the number one driver and the number two, because they're going to need a lot of help, you know, to preserve their brand. They can't sit back and do nothing. They've decided to enter at the top, not at the bottom. So they have to perform at the top.
But do you think then Bottas is the right choice for the second cockpit?
Well, there's something we'll have to wait and see, isn't it? You know, you never know when you're choosing these things, how it's all going to end up.
Mm.
So only time will tell.
Yeah. And Bernie, but you said Audi has to be on the top, on the top. Is it is it realistic for Audi?
Not realistic at all. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. maybe if they'd have come in a few years ago, it would have been a little bit easier, because really the only people they had to worry about so much was Mercedes. But now they've got serious problems in front of them.
Mm, yeah. Bernie, if you can give Mick an advice for his future, for his career, what would be your advice for Mick? You said he needs people in the background, but of course now he's 2 years out of Formula One. Maybe now
Yeah.
next year 3 years out of Formula One. But he's a 25-year-old young guy. So what is your advice for him?
Well, I don't think he needs any advice. He needs support. He can't advise people what they should do for him. People should know and collect him. And look, he needs somebody that's a sort of a very warm person. I mean, he'd be good in McLaren, because Zach makes sure with his team that they look after it. Or even now where Flavio has gone into the team at Virgin, Flavio understands problems of drivers, and particularly somebody like him that is talented enough but not given the right opportunity.
Mhm.
So,
Bernie, and you know our situation in Germany. It's a problem because we have no race, we have no Michael Schumacher, no Sebastian Vettel. So, do you think Germany has to have a German Grand Prix?
I mean, really, it's disappointing that Germany's gone to sleep in Formula One. So great. I mean, it was one of our biggest supporters, Germany always, for Formula One. And they just seem to have got lost. I think the finance wasn't there to do what was necessary. I thought maybe Mercedes was going to come up a little bit more and help to make sure this happened, but I suppose it was a bit difficult for them to take these sort of decisions. But that's what it needs, somebody. And it needs really and truly one strong person to lead it. And maybe it wouldn't need to be a German person doing it. Could
Mm.
be anyone, that's respected and strong enough to say, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put Formula One back where it should be in Germany.
Mm. Nice words, Bernie. Do you have the impression that Stefano Domenicali likes to have a German Grand Prix?
I think Stefano is acting under what American owners want to see. More races. I'm not so sure but they've been very, very lucky at getting some very good racing this last couple of years. It's been super. I'm very, very happy that they've got hold of Formula One and kept it alive and kept it going. It's been good.
Bernie, your dream was to have a race again in Africa. Is it not necessary to have a race in Africa?
Yeah, it's missing, isn't it? I tried so hard over the years with people that were also trying hard to make it happen. It I don't know, it sort of lost a lot of charm, South Africa. And there was no need for that to happen. Again, it just needed the right person to get behind it and make it happen.
And do you have other countries which you like to have a race? If you can decide it, where would be a good place to go? Where maybe New York
You're,
or what would be your idea?
to go back to India, Turkey, to good events there, good race circuits, producing good racing, and we shouldn't have lost those.
Yeah. Bernie, I'm always impressed how young you are. Tell me, Bernie, my young colleagues always tell me you have to ask Bernie, how can you be so fit with 93? What is your secret? Of course, Fabiana, then Ace, and but what's your secret?
I think I've got a good family life, so I've got a good reason to stay alive. But I don't think, I'm very careful what I eat. I don't, not that it makes any difference. Probably I don't smoke, I don't drink. I've never drunk alcohol. I'll drink a beer, but that's it. It's as far as it goes. So I don't know whether that's any help or not. I don't know.
So you're not like the Rolling Stones, yeah?
Is what?
You're not like the Rolling Stones. No alcohol, no drugs, Bernie, nothing.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know whether that's a help. With a bit of luck, if I make it to the end of October, I'll be 94 years old. So at least I've got to keep going now.
You will do, of course, Bernie. How do you do it with a party? Your birthday, end of October. How is this day for you?
A bit of a pain, because really I always used to try and plan it so I was in an aeroplane on a long distance flight.
No.
I don't like, not too happy about, I don't like celebrations of any sort.
So you're always in a plane on your birthday?
I try to be. Whether I'm going to make it this one, I don't know. I'm going to try and organize going to Mexico. So I'll be out of this part of Europe anyway.
So, Bernie, it's pain for you to have a birthday.
I don't remember birthdays. I don't want birthdays.
Bernie,
but they remind people tomorrow you're a day older. So it's better forget.
Yeah. But Bernie, you're going to 100, and this 100, is it an aim for you?
Well, I don't think I could do much about it either way. Whether I make it or don't make it, there won't be anything I can do.
Of course, you're not drinking, you're not taking drugs. You're Mr. E, and you are still alive.
Yeah, that's about all I can do.
Bernie, and what's the news about Ace? In last interview, you told me he's not coming to be a racer. Isn't he racing in your garden with a cart or something like that?
Well, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, at the moment, all he wants to do is do a bit of hunting. So he walks around with this, obviously, little gun, and he's looking for animals to shoot. He thinks he should be a hunter.
Which kind of animals is he hunting?
I think he's not. He killed a couple of cows the other day. He told me. I told him he shouldn't kill cows. But anyway, so he's now changed a bit. He's now moved to snakes. So he's waiting to go to Brazil so we can find some snakes.
Bernie, and you have a wonderful wife, Fabiana. Is she a big part of your luck, of you staying alive, and how important is she for you?
I think she is. That's how important she is. She looks after me, thinks and tries to stop me doing stupid things. So she's a big part.
Bernie, what is doing stupid things? What is stupid things?
All the time I do stupid things. So
give me an example. What?
To be very, doctors say they said to me, you've got COVID, stay at home, don't move, drink plenty of water, don't do anything active, don't do this, don't do this, don't do something else. So I more or less ignore all those things that they've explained. And Fabi tries to make sure that I follow some of them, at least drinking 3 liters of water a day.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Bernie, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. And all fingers crossed for your health. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that you will do it. Very good. I wish you a wonderful day, Bernie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will you come to a race this year?
Yeah. I'm thinking of going to Mexico. I'm definitely going to be in Brazil. So I'm probably the last one as well. So we'll see. And you make sure you're still around when I'm 100 so we can have an interview when I'm 100.
Of course, Bernie, of course, but many before. Yeah, thank you very much, Bernie, and I wish you a nice Friday and a wonderful weekend, and all the best for Fabiana, Ace, and you. Many greetings from Germany.
Super. Wake up, Germany. You should be back in Formula One.